We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bit of news regarding Lana following her release from WWE. Now, as most of you would likely agree, Lana's release from WWE was a bit out of the blue, but not overly shocking or surprising, considering there had been plenty of rumors over the past couple of years that Lana was being considered for a release from WWE, with Vince McMahon not really having any major plans for Lana in the women's division, and that it was basically just a matter of time before Lana would be let go from the company. But nonetheless, her release came as a bit of a surprise to Lana herself, although Lana's departure with WWE was reportedly not on bad terms whatsoever. Johnny Ace, aka John Laurinaitis, was the WWE official who had originally informed Lana that she was getting released due to budget-cutting reasons. Lana revealed in a recent interview with Chris Jericho that Vince McMahon had sent her a text following her surprise release, with Lana stating that Vince had thanked her for Lana's incredible work ethic and all of her contributions to WWE, along with Lana's desire to always be the best she could be with whatever WWE gave her storyline-wise. So it does seem like the release was not on bad terms between WWE and Lana, and the company wished Lana well in her future. Now the question right now is, where exactly will Lana go following her release from WWE? Will she retire from wrestling and move in a different career path, or join another wrestling promotion like AEW, which is where her husband Miro, aka Rusev, currently works? Some fans believe Lana has a lot of potential to do some big things in wrestling still, whereas others think Lana has already reached her ceiling in wrestling during her time spent in WWE, where she was booked as more of a mid-card level women's division star, and that AEW All Elite Wrestling would be wise not to sign Lana. With that said, it's hard to deny that Lana has improved to a great extent in the ring over the past year, with Lana clearly putting in a lot of hard work and effort in increasing her abilities in the ring, and it would be a bit of a shame for Lana to retire from wrestling when she was finally starting to put things together when it comes to being an actual in-ring superstar. And even if AEW don't want Lana to wrestle, she would make a great manager or valet for another superstar. Now let us know your thoughts on WWE wishing Lana well following her release from the company, and do you think that AEW should potentially sign Lana to a contract after her non-compete clause with WWE runs up? Or should AEW steer clear of Lana, and that Lana should maybe switch careers and focus on something else other than wrestling, and that her best days in wrestling were in WWE? Former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa is certainly regarded as being one of the best performers not only in WWE, but in the world as of right now, and judging by Tommaso's comments in a recent interview, he's not humble whatsoever, and feels he's actually better than a lot of fans think. Recently, Tommaso Ciampa stated in an interview that he feels he is by far the best wrestler in the world today, and that fans have forgotten about just how good he really is. Not surprisingly, Tommaso Ciampa's comments received a mixed reaction from fans, with some feeling as though Tommaso has a claim to be potentially the best wrestler in the world. But there are lots of other fans who feel Tommaso Ciampa is off the mark with this statement, and that there are plenty of better wrestlers in WWE, not even in the world, with some of the current WWE wrestlers fans have pointed out that are better than Tommaso Ciampa include AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and Daniel Bryan. There were also some fans who claimed that if Ciampa was in fact the best wrestler in the world, he would not still be in the WWE's developmental brand NXT, and would instead be on the main roster. Now, by all means, Tommaso likely did not mean his comment that he is the best wrestler in the world too seriously, and that he's saying it more as a sign of confidence in his abilities. But again, lots of fans are not happy about Tommaso Ciampa claiming that he's the best in all of professional wrestling today. Let us know if you guys agree with Tommaso Ciampa and believe the current NXT superstar to be the best wrestler currently in the world, or do you feel other wrestlers, whether in WWE or other promotions, are better than Tommaso in the ring? Now, there's no doubt that when Drew McIntyre had returned to WWE a few years ago, most fans were hoping that Drew would come back with his highly popular Broken Dreams theme song that he had used years prior during his initial run in WWE when he was proclaimed to be the chosen one by Vince McMahon, as this theme fit Drew McIntyre so well and made him seem like a true superstar. However, Drew McIntyre has had a different theme song over the past few years that for the most part was well received by fans titled Gallantry, And just because Drew did not have his original theme song during his second run in WWE, certainly did not mean that Drew was destined to fail, because Drew McIntyre has achieved levels of success that seemed impossible during his first run in WWE, with Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship twice already. However, lots of Drew's fans are hopeful that WWE will eventually change Drew McIntyre's theme song back to Broken Dreams to freshen Drew up a bit, and apparently Drew McIntyre feels the same way as most fans. In a recent interview, Drew McIntyre revealed that one of these days, his original Broken Dreams theme song is going to return, because of all the fan support of it, and that Drew is trying to get it approved by WWE to make a comeback soon. Drew stated that he's sure WWE still have the rights to this entrance music, and that he is adamant that he will be able to convince WWE management to let him use this theme song once again. Let us know if you guys support the idea of Drew McIntyre getting rid of his current theme song and reverting back to his Broken Dreams entrance music, to perhaps freshen up his character in WWE. Or are you happy with the Gallantry theme song that Drew currently has? Heading into the beginning of 2021, one of the big rumored storylines that was planned for WrestleMania 37 was The Rock returning to WWE and facing off against his cousin Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. However, due to The Rock's schedule outside of wrestling, he could not make time for a return and WWE postponed this huge storyline. However, with new rumors going around that Vince McMahon and WWE are planning for The Rock to return to WWE sometime this year in 2021, with one report suggesting that WWE want The Rock back for Survivor Series 2021, the rumors and speculation are starting to heat up once again regarding a potential feud between The Rock and Roman Reigns. According to a breaking new backstage rumor, Vince is planning for Roman Reigns to continue mistreating the Usos on Friday Night SmackDown, and essentially letting his power get to his head, with a plan then being for The Rock to return and confront the tribal chief Roman Reigns and defend the Usos against Reigns, and demand for Roman Reigns to have a reality check and put his family first, with The Rock basically trying to put Roman in his place, in which Roman would not respond kindly to The Rock's interference in his business with the Usos, and the rivalry between The Rock and Roman Reigns would then begin, with this storyline likely culminating in a match between Roman Reigns and The Rock for WrestleMania 38 next year. Now, as to when The Rock will be returning to confront Roman Reigns and defend the Usos remains to be seen, but one backstage report indicates that The Rock will likely make a surprise return and appearance on SmackDown when Roman Reigns' relationship with the Usos reaches a breaking point, likely in late summer 2021, and WWE will begin the groundwork for Roman's feud against the Great One, The Rock.